Imagine a small town where everyone acts a little crazy. Before people say hello, they look down at your feet. They check your shoes. Why? Because in this town, your shoes decide if you are a friend or an enemy. To understand this strange situation, we need to go back in time. We are going to Germany in the 1920s. Meet the Dassler brothers. Their names were Adi and Rudolf. They lived in a small town. Adi loved sports. He wanted to make the best running shoes in the world. But he had a problem. He had no money and no factory. So he started his business in his mother's laundry room. Yes, really. He made shoes right next to the dirty clothes. Soon his brother Rudolf joined him. The brothers were very different. Adi was quiet. He liked to work with his hands. He made the shoes. Rudolf was loud and friendly. He was a great salesman. He sold the shoes. It was a perfect match. They called their company the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. They made a lot of money. They moved out of the small laundry room and built a real factory. Life was good. The brothers were happy. But sadly, this happiness did not last long. The business became huge. Everyone wanted their shoes. Athletes won gold medals in them. But while the company was successful, the brothers were miserable. They lived in the same big house with their wives. The wives hated each other. The brothers argued about everything: politics, money, who was the boss. It was a nightmare. Dinner time was very awkward. Then World War II started. The war made everything stressful. And then a big mistake happened. One night, bombs were falling on their town. Adi and his wife ran into a bomb shelter for safety. Rudolf and his family were already sitting there. When Adi walked in, he said, "The dirty fools are back again." Adi was talking about the planes in the sky. It was a comment about the war. But Rudolf did not think that. He looked at Adi. He thought, "He is calling me a dirty fool." Rudolf was insulted. He was furious. He shouted at Adi. Adi tried to explain, "No, the planes." But Rudolf did not listen. He never forgot those words. Oops. Things got worse. After the war, American soldiers came to the town. They arrested Rudolf. They put him in a prison camp for 1 year. Rudolf sat in his cell. He had a lot of time to think. He thought, "Why did the Americans arrest me? Who told them I was bad?" He decided it was Adi. He believed his own brother sent him to prison to steal the company. Not cool, bro. This was the end of the brotherhood. When Rudolf came out of prison, he wanted revenge. In 1948, the brothers had one final, giant fight. They decided to split the company. They gathered all the workers in the yard. They said, "You must choose. Do you want to work for Adi or for Rudolph?" It was like a school playground, but with jobs. Most of the shoemakers stayed with quiet Adi. The salesmen went with loud Rudolph. They split everything: the tools, the machines, even the family. Rudolph moved across the river to build a new factory. Now they needed new names. Rudolph tried first. He combined his name Rudolph and Dassler. He called his company Ruda. It sounded silly. So he changed it to Puma, like the silver lion, fast and strong. Cool name. Adi did the same thing. He combined Adi and Dassler. He created Adidas. Two new companies were born, and the war between them was just beginning. The brothers were separated, but they did not stop fighting. They dragged the whole town into their war. The town had a small river in the middle. This river became a hard border. Adi and his factory were on the north side. Rudolph and his factory were on the south side. The town split completely in two. If you worked for Adidas, you did not talk to Puma people. It was forbidden. You bought your bread from the Adidas baker. You bought your meat from the Adidas butcher. If you went to a Puma shop, you were a traitor. You were an enemy. Big mistake. Even the bars were separated. Adidas workers drank beer in their own pubs. Puma workers had their own pubs. They never mixed. If an Adidas boy fell in love with a Puma girl, it was a disaster. Their families were furious. It was very dramatic. So, did the brothers ever stop fighting? Did they hug and say sorry? No, they did not. They stayed angry until the very end. They lived in the same small town for the rest of their lives, but they never spoke again. Not one word. That is a very long silence. Eventually, the brothers died. First Rudolph, then Adi. But the war did not end with death. Oh no. Even in the cemetery they kept their distance. They are buried in the same place, but they are not close. Adi is on one side. Rudolph is on the far opposite side. They are as far apart as possible. They probably wanted it that way. Today, Adidas and Puma are famous all over the world. Millions of people wear their shoes. But the two brothers who started it all died as enemies. It is a sad story. But looking at your feet right now, maybe it was worth it. At least we got some really cool shoes.